Hey everybody, welcome to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel here on Wednesday for our weekly live. Glad to be back. Last week, if you followed me on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, we were having some problems here because the power was out. There was some construction, or there still is actually construction in the area, and it compromised the electricity in our neighborhood. So that was out for at least 2 or so hours, right when I was getting ready to go live, and I knew right away it wasn't going to happen for that day. But that's okay. We're back today on Wednesday. So glad that you're here. Make sure you pop in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Also, if you're new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, make sure you click the subscribe, click the bell, so you'll know each and every time I pop content on this channel when I go live. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me pop a little hello in the comments section. Hello, Naomi. How are you? So glad that you are here and joining us. Hope you are doing well, friend. So today I am going to be making a 12 by 12 layout. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to pop on because I got a couple of announcements that I need to make. Yeah, I think 2 announcements I need to make today. And then I'm going to be making a 12 by 12 layout, and I'm really excited about today's layout. Some of it I already have prepped in advance because it would take us like forever in a day. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Sarah, Isha, Joy. Hello. Everyone's comments are coming up. If I didn't see your name, don't worry. It's because it's delayed. It takes a few seconds for it to catch up. Hey, Sarah and Kelly. Hey, Antonella. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So sorry about last week. When we were just sitting here, just hanging out, and I was all prepped and ready to go last week, and then the electricity kept going out, and my neighbor texted me. She's like, "Do you guys have power over there?" I'm like, "Nope," and it just kept going in and out, in and out. Finally, it was confirmed via our neighborhood Facebook group that the power was going to be intermittent. So, but we're back. It is sunny here in Texas. It's been raining, and today we got a little reprieve from it. Hopefully, I think we are due for some later today, but tomorrow's going to be raining. And we've got, if you live in the North Texas area, then you know what I mean. We've gotten a ton of rain here, and finally was able to mow the grass, so that's good. And I say that like I mowed it. My mowing service actually came and mowed the grass. I don't mow the grass. Anyway, so just in time because I think we're getting some more showers. It has been the rainiest May. It's insane. Hello, everybody. Hey, Patricia, Maritza, and Janet, and Lori. Hello, everybody. Danielle, if I didn't see your name pop up, hello to you. So we're going to be making some stuff. Hey, Kathy girl, just never able to catch you live. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe for a little bit, right? I know you're very busy. Very busy. I'm so glad you guys are able to catch me live today. By the way, did you know that all the live streams are recorded and available for replay here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel? So if you can't stay or attend one of the lives, it's okay. You can always catch it on replay. A couple of announcements as we're getting started today, and then I want to dig into this layout because I have a whole bunch of elements that I'm going to be gluing to my background. Number one, if you didn't know already, there is a Victoria Marie virtual crop, online virtual crop that's scheduled for this weekend, June 4th through 6th. Usually summertime, I start noticing people are going on vacation and things get a little bit quiet. But I did want to host, at first I wasn't going to host a crop this month, but I decided to go ahead and host one anyway, because I love hanging out with you guys. But it's going to be this weekend. For full details and to register, make sure you go to the Victoria Marie blog. I posted a link in the description. You'll see it's one of the first links that you come up to. That'll send you directly to the information for the online virtual crop. It's only $7, or currently $7.99. You get an opportunity to participate in live Zoom scrap and chats throughout the weekend. There are scrapbook challenges. This crop's theme is Scrap Your Fandom. So if you're a fan of something and you haven't documented that, then why not use this weekend to do that? You don't necessarily need to be a fan of anything to participate. You can play it with all the challenges. They're super flexible whether you stick with the theme or not. Some people don't even participate in the challenges. They just want to come for the live Zoom scrap and chats because it does feel like you're at an actual scrapbook crop. Just from the comfort of your home, you don't have to pack anything, and it's a lot of fun. There's also prizes and giveaways. So if you want more information about what's going down this weekend, make sure you go to the Victoria Marie blog. All that information is posted. I posted a link in the description, so go and check that out. Just $7.99 USD. By the way, you have 3 weeks to complete the challenges to win prizes. So you don't even have to complete them throughout the weekend. You can just play at your leisure. Do we have people who complete them during the weekend? Absolutely. And we have some folks that take that nice long time to play with the challenges. So very chill, very laid back. Our challenges, we have some rules, but they're willy-nilly. They're all flexible. It's not a big deal. We're just here to relax and to have a lot of fun. So make sure you join us this weekend, June 4th through 6th. You have until Sunday, June 6th, to register. I keep registration open throughout the weekend because some people don't know if they are going to be able to participate until the weekend of, so that's pretty cool. So you're able to register. So make sure you post down, or make sure that you grab the link in the description. So that's announcement numero 1. Announcement number 2, if you're not familiar with the Victoria Marie membership on Patreon, let me take a moment to tell you about it. I have recently updated my benefits for Patreon to make it more interactive and more engaging. So Patreon's a great way to support the creators that you love, and I've been on Patreon, I guess, for 2.5 years or so now. So if you're interested in getting some exclusive content and some ways to engage with other scrapbookers, make sure you check it out. I have a whole library of videos and adding to those videos every month. There are sketches for creative inspiration. I also have Creative Inspiration Project every month. That's something new coming to the Patreon community as starting this month. So if you're a patron, look for the creative prompt coming your way so everyone gets that. And depending on your level, you'll get access to live events. We are doing a live Zoom creative group critique. So you have an opportunity to come together live with other of the patron members and talk about your creative projects. You can solicit advice. We'll offer creative feedback, constructive, positive feedback. It's just a great way to kind of hone your skills and kind of troubleshoot some creative and technical things that go with scrapbooking. Also, depending on the tier, you can participate in our monthly live workshops. Those are interactive workshops where I will teach a concept or a technique and we will actually make a project during the workshop. And that's super, super popular. That starts at the $10 patron level if you're interested in that. We're also doing, depending on the level that you join at, we're doing quarterly Zoom scrap and chats where we get together and scrapbook and just relax, totally informal, but a great way for people to connect. And then at my very, very top tier, I'm offering what's called creative coaching. So if you need help on a scrapbook project, organizing your scrapbook room, photo management, anything related to scrapbooking, it's a great level to be at to get that creative coaching. 1 hour per month. So lots of fantastic benefits. They've all been updated, effective as of this month. And I'm offering exclusive Victoria Marie merchandise at my $15 and $25 level. So at the $15 level, when you have been a subscriber, a paid subscriber for 3 months, you get access to an exclusive Victoria Marie Scrapbook Like a Boss mug, coffee mug. And then at the $25 level, you'll get access to the mug and an exclusive Victoria Marie Scrap Like a Boss t-shirt. And I hope to get my copy or my sample of the t-shirt pretty soon, and I'll wear it and I'll show it during a live. So if you like merch, that's a great way to get it to become a patron. So for more information, make sure you check out Victoria Marie on Patreon. The link is in the description down below. I would love to have you. Exclusive content, fantastic way to engage. Thank you to all of you who are already members of the Patreon community. I appreciate your support. And if you're looking to become a patron, now is a great time to join. I offer monthly and annual payment options. So you just get in where you fit in. You can join or leave anytime you want. So there's my spiel for Patreon. Make sure you check it out. Today, I'm going to be working on a 12 by 12 layout. So let's go ahead and get to that. Yes, the merch is really super exciting. I had Tracy Reed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tracy Reed, but she creates digital scrapbooking kits. She's a graphic designer, and she created the new Victoria Marie logo and the artwork for the merch. So very, very exciting. So I'm excited for those of you who are patrons and you want to take advantage of that. Hello, everybody who just joined us. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Good day, Debbie. Good day. So yes, so glad you guys are here. So those are the 2 announcements. I want to make sure you guys knew. Also, today I am working with the May Hip Kit Club kit, and I posted a link down below to Hip Kit Club. I am not an affiliate with them or anything like that. In fact, I don't even think they have an affiliate program, but I am a customer. I'm a long-time monthly subscriber, and I love using their kits because it's great value and you get a lot of fun things in their kits, including their exclusive products. So I'm going to be using that today. I'm also going to be using some, a paper, or no, what am I using? I'm going to be using some solid cardstock from Scrapbook and Cards Today. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Not Scrapbook and Cards Today, scrapbook.com. And yeah, I think we're going to get ready to go. Let me grab one other thing. I forgot one thing I need to grab. Hold on just a second. Here we go. I forgot to grab one tool. I need this for today's live. Okay, now I'm ready. I only have that one thing. Oh, look. Aubrey Jane Calvin joined us today. Hey, honey. She says, I offered to provide artwork for the merch, but my sketches were rejected. They were. I need you to stick to teaching government, my dear. I guess my stick figures weren't crafty enough. Sad Aubrey. Oh, should we create some merch with Aubrey's stick figures, y'all? Should we do that? Poor Aubrey. She feels left out. For those of you who are new, Aubrey is my better half. Also my arch nemesis. And she moderates the comments here during my lives when she's not busy procrastinating on the work she's supposed to be doing. She's currently teaching summer classes. She teaches government. She's a college professor, teaches government. And she helps me out on things, or AKA I tell her what I need to have done and she'll do it. For the most part. Oh my goodness. I think, honey, they're voting for the stick figures on our merch. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to swap out my screen real quick. Let's make some stuff. By the way, I know some of you are probably at work. No judgments. It is what it is, right? You got to have some entertainment at work, right? Okay, so I think my desk screen should pop up. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button if you like what you see. And of course, if you like these lives, I'm so glad that you guys are here and supporting the channel in this way. I love giving you this content. By the way, I have been on YouTube going on almost 8 years now. Can you believe that? 8 years. Insane. I remember when I first started, it was all insane. I didn't know what I was doing. My first videos, you can actually go back, way back in my channel, and look at my very first scrapbook process video. It's completely cringeworthy, but you know, you have to start somewhere. All right, so I showed me prepping this layout on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following on Instagram, that's where I play a lot. So make sure you follow me there. But I did post a picture on my Instagram feed of me prepping this layout. This layout design is inspired by Allison Davis with Scrapbook Generation. I need to make sure that I put that in the description. So in a way, I'm scraplifting her. I'm totally scraplifting her. In one of her recent process videos, she created a 12 by 12 layout where she used, I think, either dies or punches to punch out a shape. And then she created a really fun background on her layout. And she also did some hand stitching. Now, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stitch on this layout. It's not going to happen during this live because those of you who hand stitch or machine stitch, you know, it takes some time if you're going to do a lot of stitching on a layout. So either way, you're going to see the finished product. I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch on this or not, but we'll see. All right, so I have this pattern paper. This came out of the kit. And I want to say this is Pink Fresh Studio. Yes. Love this rainbow color, which, by the way, June is Pride Month. Whoop, whoop. So, perfect for Pride Month, in my opinion. Kathy said, you started when I was kidless. That's right. That's right, because you have littles. You have littles. They're cute littles, too. I wanted to take advantage of this pattern paper in some way. I didn't want to cover up a whole bunch of it, but I wanted to create a cute design. And so it was kind of sitting around in my kit. Then I watched Allison's video and saw this particular design, and I'm like, I'm going to have to scrapbook that because that's fantastic. I'm scrapbooking a photo of my daughter, Corinne, who, by the way, finished her 4th dance recital. She had her 4th dance recital yesterday. Ballerina. Very, very proud of her, and I'll be doing some scrapbook pages about that. In fact, I'm thinking about making a mini book, a mini album about her dancing because she's really, really, really committed to classical ballet. So anyway, so in Allison's layout, she has her photo here to the right-hand side, and all of her shape elements were lined up in a row. And then she punched holes in the elements. They were stars, and she hand-stitched it. I decided, why not take advantage of my punches? How many of you have punches sitting in your stash that you do not use? Right? I know there's some people out there who have punches and you're not using them. Or your dies, your metal dies, or your electronic die cutting machines. This technique is going to be fantastic to use your tools. But today I'm going to use my punches. Punches are fantastic because all you have to do is just pull them out and use them, right? You don't have to plug in a machine. You don't have to get extra stuff out. Just grab your punches and use them. And the best way to remember to use your punches is to have them close by. I have 2 drawers where I keep my punches. I pull it out. They're all laid out for me, and I pick what I need, and I keep going. So I'm going to be using this Martha Stewart punch. Now, as you can see, I use the Martha Stewart punch. But as you can see, I already punched out a whole bunch of hearts because we would be here forever today if I did that live. And then I also have a larger heart punch because on Allison's layout, she has a larger version of the smaller stars that she used on the entirety of her layout that framed her photo, and she used those as anchors for added embellishments. I also punched them out in vellum. So here's the thing with this type of technique. Let me kind of show you where I'm going with this, and I'm going to talk about some different options in terms of substrates that you can use. So all I did was I took some solid cardstock, and this is not included in the kit, but I went through some of my American Crafts project kits that are, typically most of the designers for American Crafts have a project pad in addition to their complete line. And in the back of the project pad are solid pattern papers. But for this technique, you can just, search your stash for whatever. So essentially what I did was I pulled out papers that were pretty similar to the colors presented here on this pattern paper. It didn't have to be the exact match. So those of you who are matchy poo-poo people, don't worry about it if you're doing this type of technique with a rainbow background or any color. As long as it got close enough, I'm okay. And I kind of like that delineation between the different hues and the shades. I'm okay with that. So I have this solid pattern paper, and then I also pulled out from Scrapbook.com their floral smooth cardstock. They have about 6 of these pads in different color combinations. This one's called Floral, as you can see. Beautiful colors. And I was trying to find a color that fit well with this coral color here and then this kind of light coral color here. So once I was able to pull the colors that I needed, I took my handy dandy punch and punched out a whole bunch of hearts. And these hearts, I want to say they're about less than an inch. They're about an inch wide, it looks like, at the top point. And so, in knowing that with my 12 by 12, I was then able to punch out, let's see, how many of these little hearts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I figured that 10 of these hearts would fit across my spread. Now, I'm not awesome at math. I just kind of eyeballed this and kind of tested it out. So what I'm going for is this tone-on-tone look so that each stripe has its tone-on-tone counterpart of hearts going right across here on the strip. Now, this can be solid cardstock. It can be pattern paper. You can run them through your embossing folders to have some texture. You can stitch them. So you can adhere them to your background, go through and poke holes and do hand stitching. For those of you who are handy dandy with a sewing machine, you can do machine stitching. You can pop them up using foam dots or some type of adhesive dimensional. You can, if you're really snazzy, you can use your dies. If you have shape dies, any shape, any size will work for this particular technique. You can also bring in other substrates like cork, vellum. If you have fabric, you can add fabric on there. Anything that you can work with, absolutely. You can mix the different substrates. So it doesn't always have to be pattern paper or cardstock. It can be another substrate that you can use for this to add some added dimension. Now, or an interest. So I'm just using the solid cardstock because that's what was available to me. And I wanted to do this tone-on-tone effect going down this page. All right. So once I punched out all these little hearts, right? I punched out enough to fill up a row, literally just going through and punch-a. You can turn on your favorite Netflix show while you're doing this, whatever you need to do. Queen's Gambit, you know, why not? And then you punch a whole bunch of your little hearts. I love this colorful pattern paper. My daughter is very colorful. I like using lots of color on scrapbook pages about her. So I decided to go this route. But you could definitely do this with a more toned down version, neutral colors, that type of thing. It'd be really, really cool. All right, so all I'm going to do then is just line up my hearts on the strip. And I'm going to do that all across the page, okay? Now, what I haven't decided yet, well, I initially thought that I would pop these up using some foam just for added dimension, which I absolutely can. But Allison Davis, her layout, she hand stitches. And I can't remember if she hand stitched on every single last one of the stars on her layout. I'm not going to hand stitch every single one of these hearts if I decide to. I think I'm just going to pick out just a few in the row, adhere these down to the background, and then later go back and hand stitch. I need to also make sure that I have the threads that I need. And I would just use sewing floss, maybe about 2 strings of sewing floss, and hand stitch them if I feel like it. So either way, I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. But either way, I'll make sure to post the finished product. All right, scraplifting is the best. Yes, I agree. Wait, we're supposed to use the punches, Casey? Yes, absolutely. We're supposed to use the punches. So let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to the layout, or to the little hearts, and I'm just going to start adding these on here. Now, as I'm working on this, let me know in the comments section, how often do you use your scrapbook punches? Let me know. How often are you using your punches? Do you use them on pretty much every layout, every other layout, every now and then? Haven't used your punches? Do you own any punches? Some people stop buying punches because they use their electronic die cutting machines instead. Ooh, come on, adhesive. Get on there. Which can be more economical over the long haul. I know some people have a huge, huge collection of punches that they have collected over the years. So let me know, how often are you using your punches? And do you have a favorite punch that you like to use? I used to have tons of punches, and I used to keep them stored on my wall using some brackets from IKEA. And I have since pared down the number of punches that I have only to the sizes and the shapes that I use most often. I like keeping basic shapes, and then I let go of the other ones because I wasn't using them. So I have my border punches, my shape punches, my tab punch, which is my trusty one you guys see me use all the time. Now, as I'm putting these hearts down, I just want to mention that I'm not trying to be like Miss Perfect with this. If I want to take a ruler and make sure every single one is lined up, then, you know, I do that. But I'm not going to do that because I'm a lazy scrapper. All right, so many creative possibilities with this. All right, once a year, says somebody, not often enough, never, seldom. Rainbows, hearts, and stitching, all my faves. I agree, Gemma. Use my punches all the time. It's easy to get those out and pull out the Cricut. I agree. And in my case, it would be silhouette. Use mine when needed. Just punch a few, or punch a bunch of circles. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if you are new to punches, I recommend starting with basic shapes, your stars, your hearts, things of that nature, and then go from there. There's no need to go out and like spend hundreds of dollars on punches. Start out with a couple of basic shapes and various sizes, and you're good to go. Sarah says, every now and then I mostly use circles, tab, border punch, other basic shapes. I use my Big Shot and dies. Absolutely. Now, if you don't have punches, don't worry. If you have dies, that's fantastic. If you like more of an artistic or graphic look, you could certainly hand cut your shapes if you want something like that. So the sky is the limit when it comes to this. The idea, however, particularly with tools, is to use them. That's why we buy them. We buy them to use them. All right, now let's come up on this row here. Let's knock this out and get it done. I'm loving how this looks. Mary says her border punch is her favorite. Barb says that she uses her punches often. That's awesome. Oh yeah, the corner punch too. Yeah. Aubrey says, stars, hearts, rainbows, basically any shape you'd find in Lucky Charms. That is true. That if you eat Lucky Charms, then or if someone in your life eats Lucky Charms, then yes, you can definitely be inspired by the shapes of that cereal to inform your scrapbooking. Aubrey, thank you for offering that design tip. You're so knowledgeable. She's probably cracking up right now. She is actually downstairs in her office. Alrighty. So we can be, you've heard it here first. You can be inspired by Lucky Charms. Oh, goodness. You can also, by the way, I'm doing solid hearts, but in Allison's layout, and I need to make sure I go back to the description and post a link to her. That's the specific video that I'm referencing. But in her layout, she also did an outline of the star shape. So she had a solid star and then an outline of a star. And all she did was she used a large star punch and a smaller star punch to create that. I'll make sure to post the link in the description so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, now we're on to this one. So I'm going to get these. Now, I don't know if the camera is picking this up or not, but some of the shades of these colors, like this particular color, has more, oh goodness, I think more cream in it. And then the little stripe here has more white in it, but that's okay. Like, I'm not nitpicking over that at all. And even this pink that I'm putting down, it has more cream in it, but the strip here has more white. This is where having some idea of color theory comes in handy when you're trying to pick out shades and hues of different colors. Because these papers are made, a lot of your scrapbooking papers typically are made with a white base. So like this paper here is white on the back. So when you rip it, you'll see the white. Turn it over in the back, you'll see the white. And so that definitely changes up the color just a bit. If it's made with a more cream base, you'll definitely see that in the color. But for this project, I'm not like trying to match colors exactly because I'm using papers from different manufacturers, right? So it's not even going to be a thing. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, Allison stitched on her stars, which is fantastic, and I'm sure that probably took her forever to do, but it was beautiful. The outcome was gorgeous. I, however, haven't decided if I'm going to do that, and I'll do it off camera because that just takes forever. I haven't stitched on something in a while. Okay, next up, let's do this row. This is coming along. This is another one of those shades that, this is super pink, and this solid paper is not so much, and I think this came out of one of the American Crafts little project pads. Now you can literally just sit and watch Netflix and punch out your shapes and get this layout prepped. You can do any shape you want, and you can even make the shape bigger if you want and do less of them across your page. With pattern papers like this, take advantage of the design in some way. And as I was prepping this layout for last week, I had totally forgotten that June is Pride Month in celebration of the LGBTQ community. And I'm happily proud to be in a queer marriage to my wonderful wife. And we'll just say that this rainbow layout is going to be in celebration, right? Celebration. Although the layout is not about her. She says I don't show enough scrapbook pages about her. Although I need to. This one's about our little rainbow daughter, who literally was, born with rainbows and glitter, in my opinion. Okay, so we're almost there. Let me go to the comments real section. Scrappy, Let's see. Let me go back. Oh no, it keeps going. Stop. Harry says, I have triple label punch. That's fast becoming my favorite. I'm here equally for the scrapping and Aubrey's commentary. Aubrey's on a roll. Oh, Aubrey. Cindy says, I have someone celebrate too. Fantastic. Dee Dee says, I lucked up and found 6 stamping punches at Goodwill. Oh, fun. Let me know where you have found punches. This is double-sided. I have lucked out and found some really good stuff when I used to go to Goodwill. I don't go to Goodwill hardly anymore except to donate. But over the years, I have found some scrappy stuff at my local Goodwill. Tuesday morning, of course, although since COVID, at least in my local area, their supplies have been very limited because there's been disruptions in the supply chain, getting, all that marked down and discontinued product to them. At least that's what the store person told me the last time I went in there. Hey, Ann, what's going on? She says, I finally made it cleaning and found a new dog. Oh, wow. Sarah says, Netflix and Punch. That's right. That should be a t-shirt. Netflix and Punch. Netflix and die cut. Alrighty. Almost there with this. This type of design forces you to kind of slow down, right? Enjoy the process. The outcome's going to be great. But enjoy the process a little bit, right? Let me know where's kind of a random place you found some tools, some cool tools. I know some people luck out and get some good stuff at garage sales. I don't really shop garage sales, but I know a lot of people have. All right, I got 2 more rows to go. Now, this Pink Fresh Studio paper, this little coral color here, looks almost exactly identical to this coral color from the Scrapbook.com little paper pad. This is 4 1/4 by 5. I think that's the size. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you can use these for card bases and all kinds of stuff. So I thought that was perfect. So shopping your stash and seeing what works, always a good idea. I'm loving this already. Loving this. Another thing that I thought of, if my hearts were larger, if the elements were larger, I could print out my photos to a smaller size and use a large heart punch and include photos amongst the design as well. And I know that turning photos into shapes may seem old school, but there's some really cool techniques that really enhance the look of a layout by turning your photo into some kind of shape, incorporating that into your design. And it adds some continuity with the shape in your layouts too. Another thing I could have done with these hearts is I could have distressed the edges of them using some ink, stamping ink, distress ink, using a distress tool. I could add some stamping to them if I wanted to as well. Ooh, some heat embossing. That would be fun. Add a little bit of texture and dimension. Mixed media of some sort. Ooh, that kind of gives me an idea for something. I have to come back to that idea later with some mixed media stuff. All right, last row. This yellow paper that I'm using is slightly darker than the strip, but that's okay. I'm loving the way this is looking. Anne has been watching Amazon and here and there get a good find. Yep, someone said garage sales, AC Moore. Our town Facebook community crafters group page that is used for selling craft supplies and getting together. That's fantastic. I haven't had any luck buying anything off of Facebook Marketplace. I was trying to buy an IKEA drawer system from this guy and was like, hey, I could be there at this day at this time and cash. And he was like, well, we'll see if it's not sold by then. I'm like, or you could just sell it now to me. Like, I will literally come and pick it up. Needless to say, he lost the sale. I'm like, I don't have time to play games. Either you want my money or you don't, bro. It's just as simple as that. All right, almost done. This actually came together pretty quickly. Love this design. I can imagine doing the same design with a different shape, with different substrates other than paper. Hey, if you have, what do you call, scraps of paper hanging out, this is another awesome way to use them up. All right, you don't have to cut into whole sheets of paper, but this is a great way to use up those paper scraps. Almost there. When I saw Allison's YouTube video when she did this, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. It's such a pretty layout. Her layout's really, really pretty. Now, I've done a design similar to this before, albeit not tone-on-tone rainbow like this, but doing repetitive elements on a layout. There we go. All right. So we got our pretty little hearts. Very gorgeous. Love that. Tone on tone. Some of the shades are slightly different. All the heart. Oh, let's see. This little row here is kind of wonky. Let me see if I can straighten them out just a little bit. I'm usually not ticky like this, but every now and then I gotta be ticky. There we go. Okay, that looks good to my mind. Now, at this point, I could do a line of stitching across. I can hand stitch them individually or whatnot. I can do a lot of different things, but I really, really love this. Now, had I been thinking, as I'm putting these hearts on, I probably would have left this spot like empty because I'm just going to slap a photo on there, so it's going to cover up the hearts. But there are hearts that are popping out underneath the photo. So I'm not going to be too ticky about it. I'm usually one of those, why are you going to put down stuff if you're just going to cover it? It just happens. It's just paper. We'll move on. So my photo is going to go here. And I really, really, really like the way this looks. Let's see. Aubrey, I found a punch. A Harry Potter in the Prisoner of Azkaban. Hermione punches Malfoy. Oh my God, go away. Calvin. You are ridiculous. Okay, so I also punched out some larger hearts, and I thought, based on Allison's page, that I would use these as an anchoring element for some other embellishments. So I punched out 3 pink ones, and in her layout, she uses stars, but she has a star embellishment here, one right around this area and one below, something like that. But I haven't decided if I was going to do that. I also punched out some vellum, and I thought I would layer it on top to kind of mute the colors just a little bit, or to bring in another texture. Thought about maybe popping them up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but I punched them out just in case I decided to use them. Okay? So my photo's going to go here. I also, last week, let me tell you, I was super prepped. So I was really upset when I couldn't do this last week. I also prepped my journaling strips. I just typed them up using Microsoft Word, cut them out in strips, and then I adhered some foam, some thin foam behind them. And I love thin foam. I don't know if you guys have seen these little foam strips. Let me see, who makes this? What brand is this that I have here? I love this. Let me see if I can grab a package real quick. Duh. So I purchased these from Taylor Expressions. They are foam sticky strips, and they're about 1/8 of an inch. Very thin. Whoops. Very thin. And these are perfect for small elements. I like using them behind journaling strips if I want to pop them up for some dimension. You might see a lot of card makers use these. You can definitely use them on any craft project, but this is from Tailored Expressions. You get a pack of 32. I use these all the time for various projects, including card making. So on the back of my journaling strips, I just added those thin strips of foam. Of course, you can you don't have to buy those. You can create your own thin strips of foam using what you already have. All right, so I know that my photo is going to go here. My journaling is going to go here. And on Allison's layout, her journaling went right in this area. And then my title is going to go right there. So I am going to pick out, let's see, what did I have for this? What was I going to name this layout? I totally forgot what I was going to name this layout now. Let me figure that out here in just a second. Or did I have something picked out? I can't remember now. See, I was all prepped for this last week. Now I can't remember what I was going to call it. Did I have a die cut picked out? Or no, maybe not. Let me look to see. What was I going to call this thing? I think I was going to say, like, stop growing. Or, no, it was going to be Hello Tween. That's what it was going to be. I need to call it Stop Growing because she keeps growing. It's not fair. All right, let me use my stickers. This is called Hello. Oh, and look at the rainbow there. See? We're just prying it up here. I'm going to use this foam sticker that says Hello. I'll be careful because this is super tacky. And I want to place it here. And then these are from Pink Fresh Studio. It's called Keeping It Real. This picture was taken at a restaurant that my daughter and I love going to. Well, actually, me and Brian as well, my wife as well. And we, it's called First Watch. Wait, that doesn't go there. I can't spell tween, guys. We love eating breakfast there. And she and I went to her dental appointment and decided to stop there for breakfast one morning. So now I'm trying to make sure that I have space for embellishing. Okay, I think that's just where I wanted to go. All right, so we're just going to do Hello Tween. I just learned how to spell today, so hang on. Whenever I make a layout, I conveniently forget how to spell. Let me know if that's the case for you. Anyway, so we're sitting there eating breakfast, and I look over at her, as I often do. I just, like, stare at her because I can't believe she's, like, you know, a tween. And, there are some times when I look at her and she looks like little Rennie. And there's sometimes that I look at her, or now more than ever, when I look at her, I can see the older child, the tween child coming out in her. Her mannerisms, how she talks, her facial expressions, her height. I posted a photo recently, or actually yesterday, kind of a then and now photo of one of her earlier dance recitals, and she definitely looks much taller than me, for sure. She is going to be taller than me. I'm going to stick this right here, because that gives me some space for some embellishing, I think. Anyway, and I keep looking at her, and I cannot believe how much older she looks. It's like, you know, if you have children in your life and you watch them grow up, and when they're little, it just seems like it takes forever for them to get bigger. It seems sometimes when they're teeny, like baby infant age, obviously the growth is super fast. And then at some point they kind of slow down and then they pick up. And it's like you wake up and you've got this tween staring at you. Or you notice that they're spending more time in their bedroom, right? They're spending a little less time with you. And they want to do other things because they have other interests. And I don't know. I've been really reflective about it. I also feel like time is just going by so fast that I want to scrapbook as many of these observances that I have about her growth and her development. So I decided to create this page. Kind of talk about that, you know, just 1 minute I see, you know, a little kid, like when she was teeny, and then another minute I see this tween. Okay, so I'm thinking, trying to figure out here. Okay, let me strategize. So, as I'm up here talking and being mushy, let me figure out what I'm gonna do now. There are some really fun die cuts from the Paige Evans, what is this, Wonders collection that I thought about using. Not the birds, though. I'm not using birds on the layout. Let's see. I thought about coming in and adding some flowers just to add another element to this. And maybe like a blue up here with the blue hearts and stripes, and then like a pink here, and like a corally orangey color here. You know, again, not exact colors, but you know, you get the hint. That those would be my anchors instead of those hearts. I think that just pops out a little bit more with the colors. I'm liking that. Why not? Do I want to add some leaves here? I'm just spitballing at this point. Sometimes you got to do that. Just kind of lay stuff out, see how you like it. So as I'm making this somewhat mushy layout, not mushy, just sentimental, I think. I think it's okay to be sentimental. Whether it's about kids or something else, I think it's okay to be sentimental. Life is long, right? The years are long, but the days are short. Is that the thing? Or is it the days are short and the years are long? Days are long, years are short. That's what it is. All right, so I'm trying to see if this is going to work for me here. I got so many of these die cuts. I want to make sure that I use them up. And I really kind of like that kind of rainbowy tone-on-tone situation that I got going on here. That's what I've been documenting this year. What I see in my girls from day to day. Ari is in the little girl, big girl transition. I'm not liking it. Oh, I know. They are getting so big. Gemma says, spelling backwards, essential scrapbooker skill. Amen to that. And I don't always do that well. Hey, Claire, what's going on? Thanks so much. Yeah, I prefer the flowers too. I think it adds just another, you know, little element there, right? Okay. Let's see here. We might have, there's some little June bugs. I'm not putting a June bug on this layout, guys. That's not gonna happen. Let's see, there's a smaller one. I'm trying to see what else I got flowery wise. There's another blue one. Thought about adding a little layer here, tone on tone. Whoops. There's that. And, gosh, I wish I had like a pinky one. Like a pink one. Maybe we add a little bee instead of a flower. I used to call her my busy bee because she was always busy doing something. Let's see. What do I have here in the sticker sheet? What I'm looking for is a pink flower, since I'm making these cluster of flowers. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll use the bee because the bee has pink in it. That might have to work. Okay, so now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to have to adjust the journaling strips that I already pre-typed. So let me see how that's going to look. And these are popped up to give them some added interest. So I'm thinking I'm just going to pop these here. Maybe break up the journaling a little bit. That might be a thing. And then maybe continue it down here. And Allison's layout, all of her journaling is at the top above her title. But the way that this is coming together, and my journaling is a little bit longer, and I decided to kind of add this larger chunky flower, I think that'll work. Okay, so let me keep the journaling in order. I already worked that out before I even came on live. Okay. Again, these are popped up with some foam, so if they look wonky, that's why. All right, so let me go ahead and get the flowers in place. So just because you use one shape doesn't mean you can't use another shape, right? Kind of break up the monotony of one shape and add in a different one. So let's put this blue flower over here. I love that. And you know what? I'm going to have to live with the fact that I covered up some of those hearts. If you've been with me for a while, you know my pet peeve is I don't like creating designs like this or with mixed media and stuff only to cover up a bunch of the stuff, but it is what it is. So I'm going to live with it. I'm not going to make it a big deal. There are bigger things to worry about. All right, let's grab some foam. And of course, you know, there can't be a layout without my dimensional foam. We all know that. We're going to pop that up. Yes, let's do it. Okay, there we go. These large flowers are serving as an anchor, meaning I needed a starting spot, a starting place for my embellishing. And I like tucking these larger elements in because they're not as overwhelming when you only see part of them. Let's get this little leaf going here. Where do I want to put that? Do I want to put it there? How would I have that? I think I had it here. I think it was something like that. We're going to put that here. Boop, boop. A little bit of adhesive. Let's go ahead and put that there. Let me move this up so we can see what I'm doing. Alrighty, and then let me grab some more foam. Yeah, I think the flowers make it pop too. Yep, doing some layering. Hey, Ambi, what's going on? Hello to those who just joined us. Hello, hello. All right, trying to still keep the photo in place before I commit to it. All right, one last big chunky flower. There we go. Now, I could have used hearts as well, but I think I was pretty much done with the heart situation. And because I don't have another pink flower, I'm going to use a pink bee. Because why not? Why not? There we go. Okay. Cool. Not quite done with the embellishing there, but I do want to move on to getting the journaling down before I finish it out for today. So let's bring in the journaling strips again and trying to decide where these are going to go. At first, all the journaling was going to go above the title, but I made some adjustments. Oh, let's get the photo down. That's important. I went ahead and backed the photo with foam already. I did that last week when I was getting prepared to do this layout, but of course the electricity went out, so there's that. This photo is actually 3.5 by 5, 3.5 by 5.5, 3.5 by 5.25, something like that. A little bit smaller. I could definitely have done a larger photo or kind of multiple photos there, but this was the only photo that I had for this story, so there's that. All right, so I think we'll do strips there and then strips down here. We're going to break up the journaling. And you know what that does when you break up your journaling, guys, is it gives your eye time to sort of span the entire layout. So you know how when we do, what do you call? Rule of threes, rule of thirds, visual triangle. That's where I was going with this. It draws your eye across the page in a visual triangle. But also, too, when you break up your journaling, right, It engages the person who's looking at the journaling. It's going to force them to not just hone in on one section of journaling. Notice that the title and some other embellishments are breaking it up. So it allows you to engage with the layout even more. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to start with this bottom one here. Again, I already have these popped up with some of that thin foam I showed you earlier. And I am going to put this here like that. Now, I didn't have to pop these up, but I wanted something a little bit different. Okay. And I do enjoy typing my journaling. I like handwriting my journaling, but if I have a lot to say, I don't typically handwrite because then I can't get it out as fluidly when I'm writing by hand than when I'm typing. I don't think there should be any hard or fast rules to handwriting or typing. You just do whatever the heck you want. It's just really the long and short of it. If you want to handwrite your journaling, handwrite your journaling. I know some people are like, oh, you need to have some evidence of your handwriting in your scrapbooks. It's your scrapbooks. Type, handwrite, do whatever, but don't let that be a factor that keeps you from telling your stories on your pages. Some of us just get our thoughts out better by typing our journaling. Some people are able to do that by handwriting. And especially if I have a lot to say, I'm going to type it. Also, I want to be able to spell check. So there's that type A in me that's like, I want to spell check it. Okay. Almost done with that. Loving the way these journaling strips are coming out. This would also work well if you're creating a list. So sometimes when I don't want to write like text or prose, I will create a list of the details that I want to document. So number 1 is this, number 2 is that. There we go. Okay, so now we need to just come in and add some of the finishing details. I'm loving the way this is looking. Super cute. Let me move this out the way. I love the hello tween as well. It just works when it works, right? Claire says, I thought the journaling strips looked really effective split between the title. Yes, I agree. Thank you, Casey. Alrighty, so there's that. Let's bring in some finishing details. Again, I'm using the Hip Kit Club kit from May. And let me see what all I got available to me here. Alright. I think I need to add some sparkle. The kit came with these reaching out pressed flowers, which are really, really pretty. This is from Jen Hatfield. I'm going to have to use those on a project one day. It's probably not going to be today's project, but anyway. All right, so I got these resin hearts, which are super pretty. Let me reach for my sticker sheet just to see if there's anything on here. Look at this guy. Funny little is it a peacock? Looks like it. It's so cute. I don't usually always go for the cutesy, but that was really adorable. Let me go to the back. Anything that I want to put here. It's a little mushroom. Don't want that. They have these little chunky bees, which are adorable, but I don't think I want to put a bee on here. Again, I kind of have limits when it comes to cutesy. Unless it's layouts about my daughter when she was little. Then even then. I've noticed, I'm kind of experimenting right now with my design. I'm usually an eclectic scrapbooker, but I'm finding more and more that I'm going more towards starting to veer back more towards a contemporary look of my layouts based on my product choices and just some layouts that I've been looking at recently. Okay, let's see here. Things that I've been eyeballing recently. I'm going to put these little puffy stickers. Again, tone on tone. Want to get those used up in some way. I like these resin hearts. They're so pretty. Let's see if I can use that in some way on here. It might be a little bit chunkier than what I want them to be, than what I want for this layout. I want to add a little bit of sparkle. I always tease my daughter and tell her that she was born with glitter coming out of her pores, because literally having a child who loves glitter, we have glitter all over our house. Perpetually. For the past 11 years, just glitter everywhere. In fact, if I were to go and check on her right now, she probably has glitter on some part of her body. Probably, usually it's her face or her arms. Okay. I'm not quite done with the heart situation here. I have some more gold hearts. I just want to come in and sort of finish this out. Tucking here and there. Okay. Now, the big question is, my friends, is if I am going to stitch, which is not going to happen during this live because we'll be here for like 20,000 hours. But I am pretty happy. I'm going to say this is 99.9% done. What I'm considering is doing some hand stitching just on maybe 2 or 3 of the hearts in the rows here. So I would like hand stitch maybe 3 here, hand stitch this one, maybe this one here, probably this one here, maybe a little bit out here, some here, and then some here. But hand stitching takes a while. So I'm going to decide if I'm going to do that or not. Otherwise, this layout is done. If I were to have punched, let me see what time it is. Okay, so it's 3:01, so we went a minute over, so we're almost done. If I were to punch out all of these hearts, in addition to putting this layout together, just kind of normally, it probably would have taken me about an hour or so, to an hour, maybe a little bit more, to put this layout together. But what I love about it, one, is I took advantage of the design of this particular pattern paper. Absolutely love it. 2, I've got the repetitive element of hearts, which adds a lot of continuity to a layout. 3, I brought in a different shape, the flower shape, to kind of break it up initially, and based on Allison Davis's layout that I'm scraplifting. She used stars, which went along with the stars that she used for her complete background. I decided not to do that. And in keeping with the tone on tone, I decided to use mainly blue flowers up here in the blue section, pink flowers here in the pink section, and coral here in the coral section. And then initially, all of my journaling was going to go above my title. But since I kind of changed up the position of my title a little bit to take advantage of the design of this hello, this is a cardstock foam embellishment, and then of course the letters, I had some space here for embellishing, which meant it would interrupt having all my journaling here to the top of the title. So I split the journaling between my title and these embellishments, and that adds a lot of interest to a layout as well. It makes it more interactive, and your eye can take in the entire composition of the layout and not just be segregated to one part where the journaling is at. So there you have it, Wednesday live, complete scrapbook page. Hope you guys like it. I'm going to decide if I'm going to stitch on this or not. There's a part of me that's like, do it, and there's a part of me that's like, I'm too lazy. But otherwise, it looks fine without it. If I had like a die that was like a stitched heart die, that would be perfect too. I mean, right? So there's so many different things that you can do with this type of design. So, but mainly, use your punches, use those scrap pieces of paper, get creative, take advantage of the designs that are already done for you. Work smarter, not harder, right? Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Remember, the Victoria Marie online virtual crop Scrap Your Fandoms is going down this weekend, the 4th through the 6th. More information can be found on the Victoria Marie blog, and I posted a link in the description. Today's project was inspired by Allison Davis of Scrapbook, Allison Davis, by Scrapbook Generation. I will make sure to post a link to the video that I'm referencing in the description. I forgot to do that before I started the live, so I'll make sure I'll go back and do that so you can see her beautiful layout come together. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Victoria Marie Patreon community, I have recently updated my benefit tiers and have added an opportunity for merch. A Victoria Marie Scrapbook Like a Boss coffee mug and a Victoria Marie Scrapbook Like a Boss t-shirt. For more details and to join us in the membership, make sure you check that out. All those links and everything are in the description. Next week, I'll be back Wait, will I be back next week? What's next week? Yes, next week I will be back for another Wednesday live. However, the week after that, my family and I are going on vacation. So I will definitely remind you guys of that. And then I'll be back with another Wednesday live. So great for you guys to join me. Thank you for your energy. Thank you to my sweet Aubrey, who has moderated the comments and has added her own little flavor into it. I'm glad you guys enjoy her too. And I will see you guys next Wednesday, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Would love to have you here on this in this YouTube community, rather. I will see you guys next Wednesday. Enjoy your week. Bye-bye.